Hello, happy Sunday afternoon. Let's get this mic up here where I am because I'm soft spoken today. So I have staff report. I'm going to play with cotton today. Cotton. That's how you say it. Cotton. Cotton. In case that didn't come across beyond I do not have a southern accent. I was born and raised in Ohio. Hi, Kay. So I have evidently picked up some of the southern slurring of words. Where, it's all vowels and no consonants. So if I'm saying cotton, I'm saying cotton, the fiber. And that's because the class I took at SAF was on spinning cotton. It was called Spinning Cotton Like Your Grandmother Did. And that was pretty cool. And I'm going to talk about that because it was an enjoyable class. It was only an hour and a half. And I have spun cotton before, but not very successfully. I picked up a few tips, a few tools, and I have a few things from my stash tool-wise that I want to try. I spent a little bit of time playing with it, but mostly the class was set up that you didn't really have much time to play with it. So today is going to be my play day, but I'm also going to show what I got at SAF. How are you today, Kay? Tell me if the music is too loud. I am using that different channel other than Pretzel, so I barely hear it. It should probably be balanced with my voice. The last time I tried it, I had it too loud. Let's see here. Let's go to this because the first thing, drum roll, is I bought a fleece. Woohoo, fleece. Oh, dive in. It is a huge fleece. I do not know much information about the actual sheep, whether it was male or female. Judging from the size, it was either a very large ewe or a ram, I would say. It's extremely clean. It's got multicolors in it. So there you go. See the different colors? We've got brown, and not much of it, but brown. We've got gray, and we've got light gray, and this, of course, is still in the grease. You can see it is very clean. We've got a dark gray. Literally, there is just about every color of a sheep's fleece in here except for white. It is the coolest fleece I have seen for a long time. What was on top here before I went rolling and digging was, of course, the prime. They always put the best on the top. The sheep breed is Romandale. Romeldale. Not ramen. Not like the soup. Romeldale. Let me look that up and see if I can get a link to it. It's not a well-known breed. I don't think I'm spelling it right. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, it's Romeldale. Where is the... That's Wikipedia. I am looking for the... There it is, the livestock. The Oklahoma State livestock is my go-to for breeds of sheep, and let's see if I can find Romandale. It is very, very closely linked to the CVM, California Variegated Mutant, and there is the only one that they will give me in livestock. Yeah, it's okay. It's the origin of it. Romandale was developed from New Zealand Romney Rams and Rambouillets. And then it went on to get a variant. It was a barred pattern, and when it was crossed back, they were the same color pattern. So through the breeding of that, they came up with the CVM. So it's pretty cool. It's the base. It is Romney and Rambouillet genetics for the Romandale. So I am going to copy this and paste it here. If you want to take a look. So this is classic lock look of CVM. You get this, what they call the barred color, where it kind of blends into one to another. This is not a sunburn tip, okay? That is the true color of the fleece, from a gray to a tan. And when I buy CVM, this is often what it looks like. So this here has some of the CVM characteristics. Also this type of crimp right there, just real fine, not curly. The length of the lock is long. The CVM can be shorter, quite a bit shorter, and the length of the lock is long. So there's a number of reasons I bought this fleece. There was a lot of CVM for sale. I've spun a lot of CVM, but I bought this fleece because of the variety of color, because of the longer length of locks, because of the open crimp. I don't want a real tight curly crimp. So these were all reasons. Now this here, these tips right here, that is sunburning. You can tell because they're dry. Sometimes they will actually pull off. These are not. That one did a little bit. So you can tell on this that, first of all, it's not barred in the sense that it's all pretty much one color, and these are sunburned tips. Now, it's not 100% science, right? It's not going to be exactly like it's always this kind of thing. Every sheep has different. They have the basics genetics, but their fiber comes out different. But the vast majority of the fleece is just like this. And I'm going to see if I can show you the difference here from what I just pulled. Where did I put that? See how much. Hubby just watching football. Something happened. All right. So there's gray, and this is like I said, the vast majority is going to look like a CVM, even though it's a Romandale. I don't know exactly how I'm going to process, whether I'm going to try and separate the colors or not, but it's just awesome. It is so soft. It's moderate lanolin. My hands are greasy. I probably shouldn't have done this first. I probably should have done it last. I got a paper towel I can wipe it on. And it has shorter, some of them are shorter. What it doesn't have are those little tiny corkscrew locks that you see on Cormo, sometimes Merino. I hate those locks. I do not like processing those locks. Now I like the Romney wide open, almost rectangle lock. It comes down to a point, but the point really isn't like, and it's not like a long wool where it's a real long lock and there's lots and lots and lots going down to the point. And so, it looks like a triangle. The lock looks like a triangle. These, when they look like rectangles, are really great to spin. They're great to spin from the lock. They're great to spin to comb. They're great to card. They are that middle of the road Romney that everybody says the beginning spinners should spin, but the other hand, watch, I'm going to move my camera a little bit here. I was messing with my monitor. There we go. On the other hand, the crossing it with the Rambouillet has given it this immense softness, because who doesn't like Rambouillet? So that was my fleece, and I have a story to tell about the fleece. I went to SAF, and there were two buildings, great big huge building, and a smaller building, but with the classroom, smaller in the number of vendors, okay? Lots and lots of vendors in the one main building, vendors and classrooms in the other buildings, and I had just gotten there and started looking around. And so I'm just getting started, and I'm chatting with this lady who in her booth had Wesleyndale locks by the pound, right? It was a fleece. You got other stuff. You'd have to separate out and it was in the grease. You'd have to separate and wash the locks and everything. And I was looking at those because I adore working with locks. And I said, I'll come back. I really did just get here, and I love buying fleece. And she said, oh, you like buying fleece? I said, oh yeah, I'll probably buy a fleece before I leave today. And she said, well, the fleece isn't here. The fleece is in another building. I said, well, yeah, I know there's another building, the expo, but no, the fleece is in a third building. And there was no indication of that when I was doing my research before I left. There was no indication of that on the website, where anything would be, that just the two buildings of vendors, right? And the classroom with the one with the classrooms. And, where the check-in desk was and where the restrooms were and that kind of thing. Nothing about where the fleece was. Now, if you remember, I told you, Hubby and I were trying to decide when, and we can't quite figure out when we went, but it's been years and years and years since we've gone to SAF. I think it was 2004, but I'm guessing, okay, but it's been that long. And I remember distinctly what the building looked like and how it was laid out, because it was like your standard auditorium that has your upper level seat, no seats, but an upper level goes all the way around it, a whole bunch of area underneath that kind of went down a little, and a bottom floor, a main floor. It was multi-level, and I distinctly remember that. And we went to SAF. We went there and on Friday and walked in there, and I said, well, this isn't the building, and walked to the other building, and I said, I know this isn't the building either. Well, then I finally figured out at the very end, after my class, I took the time. We had to actually drive to the other building. It was so, you could walk to it, but of course I had just walked all the vendors in two buildings. So I was done walking. So it was far enough away that we drove to it and walked in there, and it was like, this is the building. It was what the old SAF used to be in, right? And it's gotten so big over the last 10 years or whatever. They're now in two buildings. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, well, now this looks like staff. But so you walk in on this upper level, it's in level with the ground, and you walk into this upper level, and it's a great big ring, and all the way over on the other side, you can see these bags of fleas on tables, right? They couldn't even put it by the door. The lady I was talking to that told me about it originally was so upset. She was like, you know, yeah, there's people over there, they're selling it for us and everything, but it just is not being pushed at all. Nobody knows it's over there. It just seems really unlikely that I'll sell any fleas. So I said, well, don't worry. You just told me, I'll go look, you know, and that is my story about even finding the fleas. So to begin with, to find the fleas, I had to go through all that. I also had to do all my other shopping and go to the class and wait until the end. And consequently, because I wasn't real sure how much fleece I would buy, I didn't buy very much at the dyed fibers and the stuff at the vendor booths, sadly. But okay, I don't need it. I saw everything. I got what I really, really liked, so that was good. But my point was, I didn't shop those vendors as hard as I might have if I hadn't had in the back of my mind, I don't know how many fleeces I'm going to buy or how much they're going to cost, right? So it was my last stop. It was going to close at 6 o'clock, and we were there at 5:15. And I went over and just started out at one end looking and walked the whole thing and looked. And they were really nice. They had it by breed. So the very first thing you walked into was mohair. Oh boy, was that expensive. $90 for a first clip. Doe, yearling, shearling, whatever you call the first clip of the kid, right? $90 for, I think it was 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds, but still, you would have to process it. It was you would have to wash it and process it, and okay, I'm not that fond of Angora. It was, or mohair, I should say. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, but I'm just not that fond of mohair. So I could bypass that. Then the next table was alpaca in any color you could want. Any color. Beautiful colors. Alpaca has, just so many different colors, and they were all there. And I have so much alpaca. In fact, that's, I bought those 3 blankets that I need to wash. That's on my list to do this week. And it's just like, I don't need alpaca. I'm not going to look at alpaca. So I walked on past the alpaca. And then we started getting into the Weslendales with all the logs, but not very soft. And the CVM, there was a whole bunch of CVM people. Oh, gosh, I'm not going to remember them all. There were several Shave 'em to Save 'em breeds, and fortunately I didn't need to buy those. I'm done with all that. There were a few that were the Shave 'em to Save 'em breeds. CVM is one of those. There was Romney. There was a fleece I didn't buy, and I have buyer's remorse. I have buyer's regret. I just didn't want to spend another $100 because it was $105, but it was a 100% Romney, and it was a lock that was, well, whatever that is. It was white and it had locks like that. It was just an amazing open crimp rectangle, like I'm talking about the Romney. It was an amazing fleece. It was on the rough side. That was the reason I didn't just throw all caution to the wind and go ahead and spend the $100. It was just enough under what I thought would be nice enough to wear, right? Like as a sweater. It would have been fine, probably over a turtleneck or whatever, but you know, and it was, I think it was, the fleece was about 5 pounds. $100 is $20 a pound. That's not really unrealistic. And no shipping. You know, that's the biggest part. I told hubby the whole time we were driving to Saf, I said, he's not one to fuss about what I spend. It's not the money thing. You know, it's that I have so much already. It really isn't the money, it's that I have so much already. And, you know, I'm telling him, I said, just tell yourself, just remember, there's no shipping. I said, for the last year and a half, everything I've gotten, with the exception of the spring, a spring fiber fair and the alpaca farm. I said, I've had to pay shipping on it. Shipping is just terrible. It's just terrible. Terrible. So that was my justification. Yeah, I don't have to pay shipping. Turns out I didn't really I didn't buy all that much. This fleece was another reason, was to me a very, very good price. I have as yet been able to get an actual weight on it. I'm not so sure that really matters until after I wash it up, and then I'll weigh it because of the lanolin and the price per pound. Really, you want usable wool, right? So I need to skirt it. It doesn't look like I'm going to lose much unless they've got the poopy bits really tucked up inside, because I looked all over the bottom. You know, I just looked all over. I didn't take it out of the bag. Don't want to do that. Don't ever do that at a fiber fair. That's unless you have the breeder right there in front of you and they are willing to do it. But you can see a lot if you just take your hands on each side of the bag, and you know, because like I said, they do always put the best part on top. Anyway, it doesn't look like I'm going to lose much from that. I probably will lose 30% though to lanolin. It's moderate lanolin. So anyway, where was I going with that? It was only $75 for the fleece, and compared to considering that it's a Romandale, it's super soft. Considering it's nice and long, I'm not going to have trouble spinning it. It's not like a problem child fleece where I'm going to have to figure out how to process it. It's going to be really easy to process. It's going to be easy to wash. Well, I took it home. Here's the rest of the story though. So I'm up there and I have looked at all the fleeces, and I kept going back to this one. And it was on a table with Romandale listing, right? And every other bag had a tag on it. And they had specific tags where it said what the breed was, who the breeder was, and how much. Sometimes there was weight, sometimes there wasn't. It depended, because they didn't weigh it, the breeder did. If the breeder had weighed it, then the breeder put it on there, information on there. So anyway, this bag had no tag, and I went up. Well, I sent my husband up to the table where you check out and have him ask if somebody could come back, because we had a bag without a tag. And somebody came up and she looked at it, you know, she's like, you know, this lady doesn't know where the tag is or whatever, and she couldn't find the tag. She said, you know, we just moved things around, and she kind of looked under tables, and she said, okay, I think I'm going to ask these other breeders here who it is. Okay, I'm going to ask the one that has the most Romandale and see if it's their fleece. I said, that's fine, you know, because there's no price. There's no way to know what's being asked. And I hung around, admired that Romney over and over and over again, trying to make it softer. It's like trying to make it softer. Anyway, she finally came back with a person, and the lady said, oh no, that's not my fleece. I was like, And so they tried another Romdale breeder, and it did have one slip of paper in there with a 4-digit number on it. Big numerals, 4-digit number. Didn't mean anything to me. She said, I think that's the rear identification number. Let me look that up. So she went back to her computer and they found it was a different name. And so they looked and they saw that breeder had 10 fleeces in the sale up there. So her little partner went and called them off. Here's number 1. Here's number 6. Here's number 8. Here's number 10. Here's number 3. Here's number... And it turned out number 2 was unaccounted for. And so they just said, it's got to be that. And I said, oh, great. How much? And I was ready to go put it back. I figured 150. I did. I figured 150 or at least 125. Let's say 125 because there were 125 fleeces there. There were fleeces for $125. And they said 75 and I was like, sold. I'm taking this one home. Now, I have no name. This needs a name. Maybe I should run a contest. Name the fleece. I think it's forever going to be the Saf fleece. But that's too hard to say when I'm talking about it. The Saf fleece. That's too hard to say. It needs something catchy. So, that is my fleece story. Let me go back to it in case anybody came back while I was talking and you need to see it and you haven't seen it. Just click on the link, read about the breed, and this is the fleece. I can't wait to work on it. I have been so busy since I've gotten back. I had no time to go do the skirting on this or anything, let alone put something under the water and wash it. But I should have something. Quite honestly, we should have 6 weeks of very uninterrupted streaming and podcasting and that sort of thing for me, because we just have no plans of going out of town, and I'm going to try and keep it that way. After that, we go on our cruise. All right, let me show you the rest of the stuff I got. Now, this is going to be hard to focus. It is so white. It is Blue-Faced Leicester and silk, and I believe it's 75-25. There is so much silk in this, and the Blue-Faced Leicester is just, oh my gosh, it is so soft. I got this from Ansling Yarns, and they're the ones I've talked to the most about shaker baskets, boxes that I've always wanted. All right, but they also have dyed fiber. They have yarns and that sort of thing. And since I'd already talked to them about the boxes, I went ahead and looked at their fiber, and they had several braids of this in white, and it was my idea. I want to dye it, right? I'm not going to buy what I want to do, something that I can dye. I want white. So I have 3 braids for 12 ounces. I have 3 4-ounce braids in my hand. And he says, if you're picking up 3 like that, how would you like a special deal on a pound? I said, keep talking. Keep talking. And he says, yeah, if you buy the pound ball, it's 20% off. And it's the same thing. It's the same base. It's Blue-Faced Leicester and silk. And he says, the price was a little higher than I normally pay for fiber that I still have to do the dyeing on. But here's what I'm going to do. I am going to spin this white and dye the yarn. I am not going to risk felting, ruining this quality fiber as fiber. I want to have it as yarn, and then I'm going to dye the yarn. So I will have the pleasure of spinning this blue-faced Leicester and silk, making some yarn, and then dyeing it. And oh, it's so soft. It's so pretty. Does that help it? Yeah, that helps it register a little bit better, I think. You can see the beautiful shine to it. It was really what it was is it's a special if you had bought it as the 4-ounce braids in white, which they would have had, evidently they're buying it this way, and they would have had to, take the time to neatly put up. They took 20% off of the price. So the truth of the matter is, not only do I not need the fiber, I felt it was expensive. It's relative to the fact of how much I don't need it, right? And I had to absolutely fall in love with the color, the fiber, or whatever before I would consider buying it. And this is my next story about getting there, okay? Even before I got to shop. And if you listen to the podcast, you're going to hear this too, because I'm going to be talking about it on the podcast. But we went to something for hubby. It was in Helen, Georgia. It was an Oktoberfest, and it was cool. It was really, really cool. We left at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it was supposed to be a 6-hour drive. And we slowed and stopped traffic on one of the major freeways. I don't know if it was out of Nashville. It was 24 out of Nashville. And we crept, and we crept, and we crept, and we crept. And an hour went by, and we crept, and we crept. Oh my gosh, it was terrible. It was so frustrating. And 2 hours later, we finally have gotten to the point where we're at the merge point where everything had been moved over to one lane from 3 lanes, and we could see what had happened. Nothing was there anymore, but there was a huge area on that right-hand shoulder and the first lane and somewhat into the second that they were buffing, cleaning with some kind of road equipment. So evidently there had been a massive spill, as well as it looks like a fire, because it was all black. And so we finally have gotten through there and are just getting going. And over here on the shoulder is a great big tractor trailer bed with pieces of truck or trucks, not sure which. He's crawling along on that shoulder because he's going so slow and everything, but that's what they had hauled away. So it was tragic, I'm sure, and I'm not belittling that, but the 2-hour delay put us getting to the Oktoberfest with just 2 hours of it left in the evening, right? And it was the whole trip going down, starting with that. The whole trip then became, we are late, we are delayed, we are not making good time, right? And it just continued. There was no way that anything ever went smoothly except for the last leg of our trip home. everything else, going down to that first delay, and we went a different way home, but about the same amount of time home was all fine. We were not supposed to go more than 2 hours away from home, I think. Anyway, we left from the Oktoberfest. We stayed overnight, obviously not gonna drink and drive, and then we left in the morning and started driving, and I thought, piece of cake, it's supposed to be 2.5 hours, I'll get there by 12:30. And then it was still another 45 minutes, and then it was a little bit of traffic in this town, and then we had to find it. Oh my gosh. So I got to SAF at 1:45, 1:30, 1:45, something like that. And, it was supposed to have been just a little over a 2-hour drive. We left at 10. I guess that's not too bad, but I felt pushed because I walked into that building, Davis building, with all those vendors, and it was, my gosh, it was packed with vendors, and so much to look at, and I felt very overwhelmed. I haven't felt that way at a fiber fair before, but part of my problem was I had a 3 o'clock class, and the 3 o'clock class just was looming fast, and so I didn't want to talk to anybody, and these vendors, they like to talk, they like to show what they got, and I felt really bad to zip in and out of the booths and not even go in, but go by, and I had them all printed out, and I was circling the ones that I wanted to go back to if I saw anything. So I did the Davis building that way, and then I went over to the other one to my 3 o'clock class, and was there for an hour and a half, and then I did that building quickly because actually those vendors they just didn't have that much that I was interested in, and went to get the fleece, and that was it. Then we were on our way for 2 hours back north, our way home, to stay in Knoxville, Tennessee. But the drive was glorious. It was beautiful. We went through the Cherokee National Park, and it was all mountains. It was all gorgeous trees and some color, beautiful sunshine. We never had a drop of rain, except when we were sleeping one night. It rained at night. It didn't rain during the day. I never had to drive through rain. At one point, we are driving up our side of the 2-lane road, and it's split because there's a big chunk of mountain in between, and before we hit where you lose the view of the other two, which was way on the other side, we saw a bear go across the road, and then we got out of those bigger roads, and it was a really good road through the forest, but it was literally trees, 2-lane, trees on either side, up and down hills, and around hairpin curves, constantly around hairpin curves. And on part of it, one side, there was mountain on this side, and the other side, down here, way down in here, was the most glorious stream, river with rapids, coming off the mountain. We followed that for a long time. It was beautiful scenery, and I would have loved to have stopped and take pictures, and I didn't because of this. We're late. We're running behind. It's taking too long, right? The best thing I saw that made me burst out laughing. I mean, I'm going around curve after curve after curve, and I hit this road sign I didn't hit it. There's this road sign on the side of the road that says, "Curves become sharper." Oh, thanks. Bunches. At least I'm warned. Curves become sharper. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm talking too much. Let's do something here. Let's go to and I'll show this again, but this is the fiber I bought. This is actually black, not blue. Looks navy, but it's called merino, and it's called stained glass merino. And it's got a little bit of Firestar in there, but not a lot. That's my Halloween colors. And then from the same vendor, I bought Firestar, merino and Firestar, and this is just glitter, and it's called platinum because it's the most gorgeous gray. I only bought one of these. I don't know. I probably should have bought two, but I do know that if I want to, these are going to go together really, really, really well. So I actually have 12 ounces that I can put together. And that was it. That's the fiber I bought. All right. I don't know if I want a tablecloth on or not. Yeah, I think I do because of the glare. This is a very, very old and stained, you can see, tablecloth. Oh, goodness, I put everything out. Everything's just out of reach, so I'm going to try not to talk until I get it all together here. Okay, this is all for my class, and we're going to talk about cotton. Susanna Johnson is the teacher of the class, and she lives in Georgia. She works as a historian at a historical plantation and in Georgia, and so that's why she knows a lot about cotton, because there is, I thought she lived in, I swear she lived in North Carolina. Let's see here. Let's see what this says here. I don't think it gives her name, unfortunately. Okay, I'm sorry. I may be wrong on the teacher. But this is what I do know. She works as a historian at a historical plantation where she lives. And one of the things that she was saying as a spinner was she never had much luck spinning cotton. And of course, cotton is grown in the South, and so there are her point that she finally came to in her mind was that cotton is too short. The cotton that they use for today's commercial cotton is too short, and therefore that's the only cotton that the people who are making cotton sliver have available to use, and therefore it's too short and not really easy to spin. And she was like, she's a historian at this historical plantation. She knows they used to do all this stuff, right? They made they made everything, right? They made soap, they raised their food, they raised their garden, and they therefore were raising anything they used for fiber. And if they were raising cotton, they had to have spun it. They had cotton cloth. So she started doing research as to what the actual different genuses of cotton are, and what was most historically closely correct to the, she could give us information about all through the different countries that raise it and what kind of their genuses that they raised. She read a lot of history books on cotton, and that's how she did her research, and came to the conclusion that it needed a longer staple. That what they were spinning with had a longer staple. So she started investigating the cotton that was being grown outside of the commercial instances. And for those of you who have spun or know about Sally Fox, she is the one who brought what we call the organic cotton. Okay, it is the cotton that is what they call the green and brown cotton. Now, this is illegal to grow in various states. It's absolutely illegal to grow in Georgia because Georgia grows a vast amount of cotton for the industry. And the reason is because any plant within 5 miles of their commercial white cotton will cross-pollinate, and that ruins the crop that it needs to go to. Okay, it ruins that. So the very first thing, if you want to plant and grow cotton, is check if it is legal to grow in your state. And you almost have to grow it outside. You don't necessarily have to plant it in the ground outside. You can put it in a pot, but it has to have bees to pollinate, right? Or insects or whatever. And if it's in a greenhouse, if you raise it in a greenhouse, you're going to have to self-pollinate, and I don't know if it'll work or not. But to get those bowls, the little things of cotton, it's like a flower. You have to have some kind of pollination happen. But first you have to get it to grow. And this is cotton that she grew from seeds from what Sally Fox was doing, the green and the brown. And the seed is right here. There is a lump right there, okay? And if you take this and you just start pulling very, very, very gently, you're drafting off of the seed. Very, very gently. Now, I would not try to do this drafting and spinning at the same time. It's like this is how you would process your fiber for your cotton, okay? And you just have this tiny, tiny little sliver of cotton. And this is a seed. This here, you put in the dirt, and it gets the right, warmth and nutrition and all that. It makes a cotton plant. So the first thing that happened was we all played with this cotton a little bit. Learned how to, get it off the seed and that sort of thing. We also had many discussions about the fact that it's illegal in some states, so don't grow it. Don't grow it. Here's seeds I've gotten off the green, and I am keeping the seeds. Have not decided if I'm going to grow any or not, but that's because, quite honestly, I have not actually Googled if it's legal or not in Kentucky. Let's see what Google says. I better put it another way. I have a feeling, I have a 50-50 chance. Evidently it is in Western Kentucky, because it says few people think about cotton farming, but cotton was grown in far western part of the state for many years and recently has begun making a comeback. A handful of farmers have returned to the crop for a second year with nearly 3,000 acres planted in Fulton County in 2006. Okay. It just says growing cotton in your garden is illegal in states that consider it a cash crop. At this point, I would say that it would be okay for me to plant it. I can't see that they are saying that it's illegal in Kentucky. But this that is, I can grow this, but it's still very short. It's not very long, okay? What you want, the longest staple that you can find. Oh, this is the cotton that is commercially raised. It's been ginned, which means there's no seed in there. And if I try pulling, you can see how I have lots of short, oops, no, you can't see it all. Let me get my pink book here. You can see how I have lots of short bits. It's like nebs, right? It's shortcuts. That's because it gets, the processing of taking the seeds out really rips the fiber up. And their commercial mills are fine with that. Whatever they have set up deals with that. But for us as hand spinners, if that's what you get a lumpy bumpy yarn. And this is the kind of the fiber that they're getting for cotton that you might buy in a 4-ounce braid to spin. So that is the reason cotton is hard to spin, because of the source of the cotton. Those of us who can grow our own cotton have a better chance of getting a longer staple. And some of it is using seeds from the longest known staple cotton. It's called Sea Island cotton. Okay, and I have my precious seeds here I have pulled out. Okay, there are 3 seeds that I pulled out playing with this cotton during class. And there's lots of seeds in this sample. And you wouldn't think, looking at that this is what I pulled off. It looks like top. Jane Wayne in Texas and have 50 acres and I can't grow cotton, so I would need some commercial license to grow it. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you would only be allowed to grow the seed that they say you can grow because of the commercial aspect of cotton. I'm so sorry that it's true. Yeah. But this is Sea Island cotton, and there are 1, 2, 3 seeds in there. 4. There are 4 seeds in that little bit. But I want you to see as I pull this, and I'll put this against the pink book again, the difference. This is another thing that's super tedious. I mean, if our grandmothers did this, and I'm sure they did, or they had gins that would remove the seeds, look how that just goes and goes and goes. Probably can't see it. I pulled all that off of those 4 seeds, and there's still more there. Sea Island cotton is what I'm going to, if I grow cotton, try to grow cotton, I'm going to start with that, because that is just amazing. Yes, hand picking. Oh, do you know, I learned some things. She talked about working in cotton fields herself, and first of all, I always thought it was a southern term. I didn't know why, but have you ever heard of the term fair to Midland? Somebody will say, "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm fair to Midland." Have you ever used that or heard that? That is a term from grading cotton. Yes, they grade cotton that is not quite as good as it should be. Fair and Midland. I mean, that is a cotton grading term. And I just burst out laughing when she said that in the class. I was like, that is amazing, right? Fair to Midland. So I have this is Sea Island cotton here. And I'm going to finish pulling this off. And then I'm going to start doing a little bit of spindle spinning. Her point about spinning this cotton is that you want to spin it in a way that there is no pull on the fiber. So a support spindle, a very, very, very light drop spindle are your choices. I am going to try and show that. It's pretty hard to show drop spindles on the stream, but I have several options that are supported that I'll show too. So very fun class, very fun class. All right. Not only that, this Sea Island cotton, did you see how the seeds from the green stuff was fuzzy and it was all covered still? Yeah. Well, it really comes clean. The seeds come out real clean on the Sea Island cotton also. All right. Now let me get my back in the bag here. Save my seeds. Alright, what's this? She has grown. Hi, Nematona, how are you? She has grown her own hybrid. So, like the brown and green I showed you was her cotton that she has grown. This is like a brown from like the growers that are raising it, and she's gotten longer. This still is just like, it doesn't come off the seed. It's just very difficult to work with, and as you can see, it comes in chunks and stuff there. So she has developed better cotton on that plantation that she works on, and they have a big field, right? And she has lots of cotton plants, and she lets them cross pollinate with the longer stapled Sea Island in order to get better cotton. So that was what she was giving to us to spin and play with, along with these other little samples. And I want you to see the difference here. So this is what I made rologs out of. And first of all, it's one of the browns, okay? It kind of doesn't look brown. It looks yellow is what it looks compared to the white. But this is one of the cottons that are being raised that are the not original white. They're the browns and greens. And when you make it into a rolog, it's not too bad. I can draft it out pretty good. Okay. I can draft it out pretty good. And this is what I was trying to learn to spin cotton on. I was actually working with a charka while I was doing it, but the difference is just amazing in color, for one thing. No, she is not a vendor in that sense. Nematomo says, doing somewhat all right. I had a friend over and made pizza, which was nice. Now having some anxiety, which is less nice. I'm sorry. I hope it's not over the fact that tomorrow's Monday and whatever's happening on that day. No, you can go to Etsy, Jane Wayne, and look for probably through that way. It would be the best thing. It's harder to find, because what you're going to find, if you find cotton at all, is probably dyed fiber, right? Not natural. And they probably will not sell seeds. It's probably pretty hard to get seeds, which is why I'm like, I got the seeds. But what you want to spin it on is something very, very, very lightweight. I have a Trindle, and it's super lightweight. So it was the drop spindle I was playing with in the class. And this is cotton that's on it. Looks like Angora, it's so fluffy, but it's cotton. So what happens with this is there's itty bitty little holes in this rubber ball, and these dragonfly wing, very lightweight metal, go into the hole. And boy, I can't get it to go in there. I am so afraid I'm going to break these. I am. I'm just really careful with them. So that is my single of cotton. Not all that thin, but not bad. And yes, I need to put 2 more dragonfly wings on here. Alright, so that's ready to spin. This is a mini Bosworth, and this is wool on here. I have not actually tried this. I thought I would try that. This is a Tackley, which actually should sit in. I have Angora on here, and I haven't tried this one. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out. There we go. Oh! Just pick up the fiber. Yeah. Those would be the 3 that I might be able to spin that I have. And then I thought I'd try the Nano last. So the whole point is, oh, and this is the spindle that she gave us to spin. She gave it to us in the class in case people didn't realize they were supposed to bring spindles. And I have forgotten to put, I haven't put my leader on here yet. I changed this, but what it is a candy jar lid. And the reason it's that is because, remember I said if you're going to have anything hanging down on that fiber, you don't want a lot of weight. You want it super, super light. And this is the lightness that you need with this thin candy jar. And I had to put it on this chopstick, which is a little bit heavier than she had a dowel. I had to put it on the chopstick because that was what this adapter right here was made for. And I used this adapter with a CD, so I had a big round thing, but I went ahead and put the adapter on this after hubby cut it a little bit more and made it a little more open, so I would have it light. So I don't know how it's going to work because I didn't really try it yet. And the other thing is, it's pretty hard to drop spindle on a stream. So for that reason, probably I'm not going to do much. So this is the one that I was, yeah, see, you cannot see it because of my hands at all. Maybe if I put my hands, I'll do that. You won't be able to see my hands drafting, but you'll be able to see the spindle. And it's just like anything else that you spin, you draft. Overlapping here. You draft very fine. See? Very fine. My spindle's still going, but I'm going to give it a little bit more, and then I'm going to wrap it on. After I take the fuzz off. This is my favorite. I can spin cotton on this. It is not that thin, especially because I'm going to, ply it. Unfortunately, I cannot get that super, super thin that is needed for let's say you were going to do embroidery thread or, something like that. That needs multiple plies. Yes. Shiny spindle. No, I'm trying to do this and not break it. Not have it fall. It is an awesome spindle. I love the Trindles. So this is 100% on Sea Island cotton. It's 100% doable with this drop spindle with that weight. Now I'm going to try I spun the one that she gave us there. In fact, I could spin the green. Oh, see, that one broke. All right, let's go again here. My hands are starting to get a little sweaty. This cotton's sticking to it. Oh, yes, I do need to hydrate. Thank you. I'm busy. Okay. So, as you can see, I am starting to get a thread here now, finally. And actually a little thinner, except that I need to wind it on because I had such a long leader, I'm all the way down to the floor already. So, let me wind this on, which it doesn't want to do. There we go. So it does spin quite a while. The trindle spins a little longer, but it spins pretty good. And definitely homemade. Doable. Very, very lightweight. That's what you're going for if you want to spin cotton. Very lightweight. Hardly draft, hardly move, hardly do anything except get the twist in there. But remember, this little bit that I've been spinning was what I was pulling off the seeds, right? The time that it took to pull it off the seeds too. And I'm at the end of my fiber, so it dropped. All right, so that's 2 spindles. I am not going to try the tackly because I don't have I forgot to bring my bowl that it sits in. And I believe this is going to be too heavy, but I'm going to try this roll log that I made of the really poor stuff. Remember what I said, it's poor because they gin it even though it's the non-commercial white, it's been grown by just a plant that you and I can grow. They still have put it through probably an old antique style gin, cotton gin, something to remove the seeds. And that's what makes it a problem. The thing about this Bosworth Mini is that it doesn't spin long enough. It wants to backspin. It's not very good for this. And I cannot begin to get this as thin as what I was with the white. So I'm going to finish up this little bit that I drafted out. And the checklist is no, this does not belong with cotton, this Bosworth Mini. So if I'm going to do it as a drop spindle, I am going to do it with the trindle. I don't want to spin 8 ounces of dyed cotton fiber that I have purchased in the past on a drop spindle. Doable, yes, and I'll have to do it if it doesn't work on the Nano. So that is going to be the next thing I try. Not too bad. Not too bad as far as the thread goes, right? Still pretty thick, but I have no idea right now what I'm going to make out of hand-spun cotton anyway, to be honest with you. I don't know why I bought it, except that when the dyer went out of business, she had it on sale. And I loved all her dyed wool, so I bought the cotton. I bought the cotton. All right, hydrate, and I'm going to set up the Nano. Which means I gotta find a place for all these drop spindles. Okay. I'll get to the nano in a minute. Hi, how are you, Dante? It's Dante's. This here is called a Royal Hair support spindle. It's made by Royal Hair. Keep finding more white. Oh, you had a long shift. Oh. Looks like I had some Angora on here because it looks like I have no leader at all. That's not going to work. I'm just going to add to it from this Tackley. Okay, this is not in the camera. Let me get this in the camera. So, it's on a ball bearing down here. It flicks off the point right there to put the twist in. Faster gives you more twist. And I'm just going to pull a bunch of this cotton . Not really supposed to have to pre-draft the ponies like this, but I had terrible cotton and I don't have pony making skills. I couldn't get it to spin on the charka at all. Had better luck if I drafted it out like this, so that's why I drafted it. So let's see how this does. Let's see if I can get my hands in that. There we go. Don't know exactly what I can do about the camera. I am getting a very lumpy, not smooth cotton thread with this. It's the Puni. It is not necessarily the spindle. Now I am going to see what happens if I try and draft from the Puni. First of all, it's going to be a lot thicker. Now, second of all, it stops the spinning. You know, I cannot pull against the spindle at all or I'll stop it. And it's very lumpy. Rustic. No, I don't like that at all. Getting a lot of extra twist. So to take it straight off the Puni doesn't work. But if you buy cotton, like from a grower, this might be what you get, the ginned cotton that has the short bits in it, okay? I actually do better with the... Of course, I wasn't really spinning this with the trindle. It's not a fair comparison. By the way, I did not just get this royal hair at the at SAF. I've had this for a long time. I got it because I had Angora rabbits and I had Angora fiber, and the one Angora rabbit breeder that I was getting rabbits from liked it. And if I could have a really nice fiber, I'd have a really nice thin single. But it's not good fiber. So that's the last test of all this. Now I'm going to get into the actual commercial dyed cotton that I bought. And I'm hoping I can spin it on the Nano. That's where we're gonna go next and do the rest of the stream. let's just say, given a choice, I would pick a drop spindle first, this second, and the charka third. I don't care for charkas either. Okay, so that's spinning homemade cotton, right? And boy, do I need a stretch. Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you all for patience and listening, and hasn't been a real chatty stream, I know. We can fix that now if you feel like chatting. Gave me a chance to tell you all about SAF and all that good stuff. So what I have to figure out, I don't have a very long leader on that. Okay. All right, this is the cotton I bought. I bought this a long time ago. Like I said, I love the color. I love the dyer. I loved everything she did. Boy, that is true blue. That is the truest color. This camera loves blue. That is the true to color blue right there. It really is. It's called Sapphire, 100% Pima cotton. Now Pima should be the longest that you can supposedly get, right? And as you can see, I haven't done anything with this. I haven't undone the braid or anything. Get the card off of it here. This lady is no longer in the business. I am working very, 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 very slowly through my stash of stuff. This is extremely soft. I mean, it is nice soft cotton. The question is going to be how much, how smooth it'll be. Okay, so it's in like this. That's one of the 2, 3, looks like 4, maybe 5 of those strips. There is so much fiber here. And this is 4 ounces. So instead of, oh, and I have a loop there, so let's take that loop. I bet you it's all one loop. I betcha. I can just wind it into a ball. Gosh, where's the end? Yep. Middle. And I'm going to wind them the balls same direction. I'm going to take the end that I come to, put it in the center of the ball. I don't know yet if I'm going to find it's directional. I do know that my nose is starting to itch like crazy from the fluff.
How far was that drive? Nice. Are you taking an ECG
Sorry about
here?
the ad. I'm using a different
Taking one here. Are you taking an ECG
music.
at a birthday party? Hi. How'd you sleep? And why are you checking?
There. Shit, skip ads. Okay. Holy mackerel, I did not hit. That was a loop too. Okay. Huh. I think I want to try the other end up in the center. How about that? It was all one continuous. Yeah. Okay. This feels rougher than this way. So I want to draft from this side of it. So that's why I'm going to wrap the... I didn't know for sure, but I can tell by pulling on it through my hand. There we go. Now we're going to make this a ball. All right. And try to keep the nano out of it. Very dense fiber. Okay, there's the end. Now I can take, that's my 4-ounce ball, and I'm just going to take, oh, it splits real easy. I have no idea what this is going to need to spin. I really don't. I may only need to go like this on it, but because drafting straight out is kind of weird. Doesn't like it very well. So if I uncompact it, it may draft off of here without pre-drafting. For one thing, it's all twisted on itself. A lot of weight hidden in there. Gonna have a blue and white yarn. See, it just, if I pull on that, it just, that's what I end up with. And that's pretty hard to spin. And then that's what I end up with. So I'm just not real confident here about how this is going to spin. No, I need more pull in, but that means, see, oh, I got so much twist there. Goodness gracious. Let's see, I need more pull in. I'm at top speed, and in order to pull it in, it's hardly turning because I have the pull in set so high. Okay, it likes feeding out, not being drafted. It likes that better. Okay, that's pretty good. Just open it up, uncompact it. Okay, but I don't like the fact that it's not able to go very fast. I'll have to fix this a little bit. Okay, the reason this works, you heard me say that with the drop spindle, and you want a support spindle, you don't want anything pulling hard on it. The reason the Nano works is because the Nano has hardly any pull in. Whoops. And lots of speed when it breaks. So the point I'm making is I had a hard time learning how to spin on the Nano because of its low pull in. I also need to move this down here more. And that's going to come apart because I didn't get a lot of twist in there. Yes, it is. Let's pull this up a little more. Yep, it broke. There's more twist here. All right, I had to go back where there was plenty of twist still, because it was coming apart. It's losing twist as I speak here, but I think I should be able to get my twist back in there and keep it on there. Nope, 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 nope. It is so short. It's just impossible to be thin. Oh my gosh. I wonder what a bulky cotton would be like. I actually bought a commercial bulky cotton black yarn once and knit a top out of it. I ended up wearing it for a while, and but I don't know. I don't even know if 8 ounces of this would be enough to make that much yarn. See, I'm getting a mess here. I'm just getting a mess. Well, I have spun the nano with wool just fine. Okay. It took me, but it did. It took me learning exactly what it was doing with pulling. But this is cotton, so all bets are off now because the cotton is just like totally different than wool to spin. Really, you should spin cotton on a charka off of a point. Not enough pull in. I don't know. The nano may not be the tool for it. May not be the spinning wheel for it. I was hoping it would work. I'm getting lots of twist and little take up. Very little take up. I have one more thing to try here, and that's spinning over the fold. Oh, that spins nice, but it's complaining like crazy. Not enough twist. Oops, forgot to put it through the... All right, too much twist. Won't feed in. That's terrible. It's just solid chunk of twisted yarn. Okay. So my idea that the nano would work for the cotton isn't probably true. Okay, I am doing similar to a long draw. Oops, and that's gonna, and It's going in routinely. Let me move this down here a little bit. That's not bad. I'm actually getting a yarn out of that. A single. A very consistent, not thin, but very consistent, smooth single. That I can pull out a little bit. If it gets thick, I just pull it out a little bit. Thins out. Okay, let me get the camera on my hands more. Here. Also, I'm going to have to get another. Here. I'll be running out of fiber here pretty quick. Alright, so put 2 of these together and I got DK. Put 3 of these singles together, I probably got a bulky. I don't know if this is what I want to do or not. I'm definitely going to think about this a little bit further. But, how about that? Boy, it's over twisted. Terrible. I know I said that already. It's really over twisted. enough pull-in. Just not enough pull-in. Alright, well, don't know what to say. I don't know what to do about it. Cotton's gonna get spun another day, I think. And not on here. Just not on here. It's too bad. But I'll figure it out. To be honest with you, I am going to try this cotton on the Roberta, because I need a constant speed. I need very little pull in, and that's part of the problem with the Roberta, is there's a lot of pull in. But it's very controllable, so as I'm doing all right with this, but the fact that it won't continue to spin allow me to continue to draft, right? The stop and start is making it uneven. So I had planned on spinning on the Roberta anyway. Next, my Ara bobbins are empty, and quite honestly, I'm going to have hubby do a little looking at it because of that clunking that it was doing. Hi, Mass Bandit. I'm doing good. I'm about done. I am just about ready to leave. I have been trying to spin cotton, and not having much luck. Because cotton has extremely short staple length. You've been very busy today? Yeah, it's a gorgeous day here, so I could be busy outside, but I'm not. I'm doing this. Well, those are all the things that I know I won't do. So the next step will be to try two things. Yeah, the next step as far as my cotton experience is going to be two things. I'm going to try this that I have 8 ounces of on the Roberta and see how that goes. And then I'm going to try growing some cotton. Probably not till spring, maybe started in the winter under some lights or something. But I'm going to see if I can get some of my own longer staple that was so nice to work with in the class that I took. I may have to draft it off the seeds out of the bowl, but you know, it just spun so much nicer than what you can buy commercially. So it's the plan. I'm going to be back Wednesday morning, but Friday I'm not going to be able to stream Friday night like I usually do, but I may try and add it in the afternoon. We have an outing planned Friday night. In fact, we're going to go to a concert. So I will be on Wednesday morning, probably Friday afternoon, and then Sunday afternoon. And Mass Bandit, don't worry about it. I hope that you all have a great, great week. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for listening to all my babble. And I think I'm going to open up, I'm going to get rid of the music.
Custom coverage for 1,100 different professions.
And I'm going to open up Twitch and see who's streaming. I have fuzz up my nose. I'm looking at somebody's doing a bike ride. No. Someone's doing Soylent Green stew for Halloween.
Tonight, I'll be eating a buffalo chicken panini. Fire. Nice.
Oh my goodness, Mass Bandit, gonna be 2 weeks.
What? You know, pounds, shillings, lolly.
And you work Friday and Sunday too. So sorry that you're working. I know that's gotta be. I'm waiting for an ad here.
After we're done with all of our official stuff, I'll do the sticker giveaways. Or we could just do it next stream.
Well, she's not really crafting.
I think we should do it today because you guys are all in here and you triggered a hype train earlier. We'll do it today, but after we're done crocheting. Because those take a minute.
All right, we'll go to Gishtastic. We've rated her before, I think. Hi, Veggie. I'm running away from you. Don't take it personal. Getting ready to raid. right, you guys. I'm so sorry, Reggie. I'll be back Wednesday morning if you're not working, or Friday afternoon. I have something I have to go to Friday evening. Changing my schedule just a little bit. But you can always watch the VOD. So let's go raid. And I will see you all later.